The Disneyland Resort is about to shut down a mega e-ticket attraction for several months for an extended refurbishment. Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Forbidden Eye attraction will be going down for some TLC. The beloved Indiana Jones ride will be closed beginning on January 9th for an extended refurbishment, according to the Disneyland website. The resort hasn't provided a specific reopening date for the ride, but announced that it will reopen in spring 2023. The last time the ride underwent a significant refurbishment was in 2014, according to Mouse Planet. Disney fans have speculated that the new additions from the upcoming fifth Indiana Jones movie, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, not the soap dial.
Are you sure? Probably need some soap while you're out adventuring, you know?
I mean, once you've touched those Jeeps.
The new sponsor of the ride.
Yeah, Dial definitely needs to dial in and be a sponsor of that
I worked so hard on that thing on Twitter, and no one even liked my joke.
I thought it was great, Katrina.
I thought it was really funny. It took me the morning. I was giggling the whole time. I was like, okay, I'm making it. And no one even liked my jokes.
I'm sorry.
That's the algorithm for you.
I know.
Yeah. Thank you, Elon Musk.
You are now buried underneath everybody else that came after you and stole the joke.
I was the one. I was the first one to make the Dial joke.
Congratulations. We know where it started, at the heart of it all. But yeah, it's left some folks to speculate whether or not the new Indiana Jones film elements will be added in to the ride during the process of refurbishment, as the movie is set to debut in 2023 for the big premiere. Tyler, this attraction has become a sort of punchline when it comes to operational downtime at Disneyland. Between it and Rise of the Resistance, it seems like one or the other is usually closed at any given time. What do you hope to see from this multi-month refurbishment? This attraction has so many elements. It's much like Rise of the Resistance. You know, Rise of the Resistance, obviously a modern-day take on an attraction where a lot of enhanced technology is already included. Indiana Jones is an OG type ride, but it's still very sophisticated in the way that it operates, so much so that it shuts down constantly when a park map flies out of your Jeep. It shuts the whole ride down. I mean, it can't handle it. It thinks there's a person on the track, for God's sake.
Watch out.
Yeah. What do you hope to see come from this long, lengthy refurbishment?
Well, I mean, first of all, I hope that they don't really add much of the Dial of Destiny stuff to the ride. I mean,
Shia LaBeouf.
Personally, if you think, the way I like to think about the ride is it's a standalone Indiana Jones adventure, right? Just like every one of the movies is, and I want it to remain in itself. I want it to remain that adventure. If you're adding in Dial of Destiny stuff, then why is it the Forbidden Temple? I hope they don't commingle too much. But besides that, from what I understand, they rely on very old computer systems. I mean, they haven't updated these things since the ride was built, and I'm sure that's a big culprit for why these things happen on a regular basis, why it's shutting down all the time. And so, for one, I hope that they can actually take the time to just rebuild kind of the whole computer system, because from what I understand, it needs a lot of help. And just secondly, I mean, I feel like when that ride first opened, it blew my little Tyler mind. I just thought every little detail was so amazing, and just slowly over time, it's like, oh, that doesn't move quite like it used to, or the snake is completely frozen forever now, or
the doors no longer move, man.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm not too mad at that one, because at least they updated the effect, and you have these really cool projection map, doors that, you're still getting kind of a similar story, even though the doors don't move anymore. I mean, that was a really cool effect, but I think the new projection mapping works. But I just hope that we really dig in and just make everything, give that shiny coat of paint, make that snake slither again. I just want, I want everything to be how I remember it in my mind's eye.
Make that bamboo work.
Stop pulling out that bamboo. I got bamboo to shake. I got spikes to see. Come on. So just bring everything back to how my kind of rose tinted glasses remember it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get rid of that part with the the fog and the tree branch and the rats that never works.
Oh yeah, in the dark section.
It's a great idea, but it just never works. And I think everybody's just confused. Was that a ghost rat? What just happened? Like, and I don't know. I guess that's kind of. I don't want. I could go on and on, but I'm making my point already. I just think they need to just bring everything back to what it was, its former glory.
And we certainly have seen, some films in between where this attraction debuted, and no doubt it has been nice not to see too many elements infused from modern day films or anything like that from the franchise. They did bring, during the last film, I remember a big sort of entertainment element to Adventureland. Remember Indy running around and that whole show that was happening on the rooftops of Adventureland?
Oh man, they did that?
Wait,
you don't remember that?
Wait, when the Shia LaBeouf Indiana Jones?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't remember.
No, I don't remember that at all.
Well, that was quite an experience, that's for sure.
They did the annual pass thing where they did like a cool show, and they actually had an annual pass party to renew, and they had like an Indiana Jones show.
It was the 20th anniversary of the ride.
Yeah,
and
that was really cool.
They had like a stunt show on the treehouse and everything, so that was pretty neat.
Yeah, Indy, and there were some mild stunts. He was running from people, and there was fight scenes and everything like that.
Oh, that's cool.
It was short-lived. It was a promotion for the film, and it was a lot of fun. Problem was, it happened in a land that already had congestion issues.
Yeah,
and so everybody just came to a stop.
Yeah, that's bad.
So they definitely scrapped that quick, and we're like, oh, there's no real good place to do this. It's already so congested.
Maybe now, since the tree's gone,
that could help.
Maybe
a great deal.
I don't know how bad it would be though, because there's still congestion there.
Although he used that tree during the show, I remember
now
him
he
going
has to
up there
swing from a vine.
And we'll have true crossover of intellectual property. Garrett, where does Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Forbidden Eye attraction land on your Disneyland must-do list?
Probably number 1 or 2, honestly. It's the first thing I do every time I enter that park. It's a tradition that goes back ever since I could actually, hit the height requirement. Now I'm above it. I've gotten taller.
Oh yeah.
It's those platform shoes.
It is, and it's all the volumizer I use in my hair to give me that extra.
An extra foot and a half.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to be able to go on every attraction, and my hair helps do that. Thank you. But yeah, the moment I enter the park in the morning, I immediately make a break for Adventureland, and I skip Jungle Cruise because sometimes it's chilly and you don't want to get splashed by water. But Indiana Jones and like the Temple of the Forbidden Eye, it made me want to be an Imagineer when I was a kid, and then I realized you had to do math, and I was like, maybe this isn't my area. But when I first went on it, I was just like Tyler, amazed at how immersive not only the queue was, whether it's just like walking into the temple, and you don't realize how far back you actually go. You just think like, man, this thing goes on for miles and miles and miles, and it's such a great ride. The music is fantastic. The vehicles are great. You don't know how any of the the show elements work when you first go on. You're captivated by everything. I, for one, miss when after you look into the eyes of Mara, which I actually thought was like a real thing. I would be like, I looked into the eyes. Oh no. I miss when the truck used to sort of jerk back and forth towards the doors of towards the gates of Doom, but now it just sort of like lazily floats there. So I miss.
Yeah, they definitely toned the movement down.
Yeah, but I've loved this attraction since I went on it, and I can't get enough of it. It's the reason why I go on Dinosaur at Animal Kingdom thinking, oh man, maybe one day it will be as great, and then I'm brokenhearted and I have to make up for it by going on, Expedition Everest and crying.
So next time, just ride the ride, close, and just watch the video of like a POV of Indiana Jones, and then go on it, and you're there.
Hey, that's a good idea.
Absolutely.
Put on one of those Oculus face things with the Indiana Jones ride.
Sync it up.
Yeah.
Solved.
Yeah, but on my Disneyland to-do list, it's my probably number 1 or number 2. It's either Pirates of the Caribbean or it's Indiana Jones. In all honesty, those two rides are fantastic, and they're right next to each other. But Indy is a ride I will go on a minimum of 2 times a day, and if I'm even if I'm with people, I might be like, I'm going to do the single rider line real fast. just because if you go in the evening, it just has a different aura about it. It's like it's darker. It's a little bit more like you feel more immersed. Because in the morning, it's like, man, first thing in the morning, got to get that adrenaline rush going. But then at night, it's like, now it's for real. You might not make it out of the park alive, and that's why you got to go on the attraction.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm. It's sad that it's going down, but if it brings about, you know, new tech, you know, instead of using dial-up, they actually use high-speed internet. That'd be amazing. But we'll just have to see how this thing goes. But I really cannot wait to go on it. If I can't go on this one for a while, then I'll just go out to Tokyo Disney and I'll do theirs out there. That's to Temple of the Crystal Skull, but it's not related to the fourth movie. So that's
makes
thankful,
sense.
I guess.
You know, you mentioned Dinosaur, and it kind of begs the question too. Like, I feel like that ride doesn't shut down nearly as much as Indiana Jones.
Excellent
does.
point. You're absolutely right.
I wonder what the
slower.
major differences are that make it so that Indiana Jones is constantly shutting down and Dinosaur is just running like a dream.
There's not
usually.
as many like things in Dinosaur for it to like shut down though.
I
you're
don't
already
know.
disappointed
Half of those
with it.
dinosaurs don't even
disappoint
work.
you more.
I don't know. I wonder if it was built, you know, years after Indiana Jones was. Maybe the updated computers at that point were enough to take it over. I don't know.
Yeah, same track, same vehicles.
Yeah.
Very interesting to think that it doesn't have the downtime that Indiana Jones does. Yeah. Great point. I wonder what the heck the difference is.
You know,
Maybe
Indy,
the
he's
Boulder
a
or something?
diva.
I don't know.
He's busy.
Hey, you don't
Actually,
talk
now that I think
Indy
about
like
it-
that.
Sorry, go ahead,
Talk about
Gary.
Indy like Indy is not a diva. He is
Not a
an
diva.
acclaimed archaeologist. He does not do it for the glory. He does it for,
History.
you know, the artifacts
The
being in the
museums.
museum. He's not.
You're
a
telling me
diva. If he
Dr.
was a diva,
Seeker is not
He's
somebody...
a diva. He's a diva.
He is a little diva.
Yeah, he might be a diva. I say, let's cross over, get Sala into the Dino Institute.
Yeah.
Have him be a part of the experience.
Buckle up, people.
Yeah.
I like it.
And go back in time to an Indiana Jones film, Nazi wartime.
Scary.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I don't like it.
Perfect crossover.
Yeah, and that would be great. And we'll put the
It works
little-
if Spielberg and Lucas get behind it, then I'm down for it. Even if they don't, I'll probably still be down for it. Honestly.
It takes very little to impress Garrett, but I'm thrilled.
I'm like a cat. I'm like a cat with yarn, man. I just roll with it. And I just have a good time.
You said it. Absolutely. And I'm thrilled to see that Indiana Jones finally getting some TLC that it so deserves. Have you ever experienced that where you've been at Disneyland and Indiana Jones is not operating? I feel like more often than not, most people tend to say, yeah, I've noticed it. The wall of cast members outside telling you all, come back later. It might be working. Come back later. You can get on board. Certainly one of the most popular attractions inside Disneyland Park. Tops Garrett's list for sure. And many others, so we'd love to know from you. Have you anecdotally ever witnessed that ride being shut down while you were on a park visit? We'd love to hear from you.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.